The Exchange on Deep Dive.
29 after 7 right here on Capi Talk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. Do hope that your Tuesday so far has been awesome. Mine has been perfect, just because I'm in your company. And of course, Tuesday, we choose you, specifically you. We do that for you. And of course, on the Exchange, each and every Tuesday, we get into the ward call, where we connect with councillors from various wards to discuss initiatives, projects, and concerns that shape our communities. And you can join us as well as we delve into the heart of local governance, exploring solutions, successes, and as well challenges. From infrastructural development to social programs, you can get informed and engaged with the decisions that impact your neighborhoods. I'm proud to be joined this evening by Ward 8 and Harare East Constituency Councillor Rufaro Matsika. Good evening to you, Councillor Matsika. Thank you so much for joining us on Capi Talk.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Let's dive straight into it, Councillor. Perhaps the starting point would to understand some of your top priorities for your ward.
Some of our top priorities are service delivery.
Yeah.
I think it's service delivery and sharing these platforms where us as council and the residents and the community can collaborate, can work together, can have these back and forth communications which help us to know what the community needs and what we can also deliver, what we can do, and the time frames.
Absolutely, and communication is essential, for anything to be moving along. I would be curious to also then understand, in terms of the same communication that you spoke about, how you engage with perhaps your residents, and also how you gather feedback, that you get from your community.
I think since now it's a modern world, there's various ways, there's various platforms that we engage with the residents, that we engage with our communities. This includes the WhatsApp groups. This includes these platforms where we are on Capital Radio, on television, on either the ward feedback meetings where you actually interface with the residents face to face in the different places that they will be in. So, there's quite a number of platforms.
Quite interesting. Now, as with any community, I want to believe there are existing or existential, difficulties. I would be curious to understand from you what some of the things that you inherited, perhaps, if I can use, for lack of a better word, that were ongoing in your ward, and perhaps what you've been doing in regards bringing solutions forward.
Yes, you say this correctly, inherited, because I came in this year, in February. So it's the water issue. Residents are still complaining they're not getting water. So, and water is essential for everyone. And apart from water, it's your refuse collection, which we are doing okay. It's not really at the optimum where we want it to be. But in 118, we're proud to say, with the help of the residents, with the help of the Border Residents Ratepayers Association, they already had a compactor, which they had an MOU with the city of Harare. And we also then got another compactor after I came into office, which is another win for us. So our ward has 2 compactors, which now service the region 5. So it's an improvement, though it's not to the optimum. Like I said, more needs to still be done. Besides that, there's also the street lighting. We need more. We need to better our street lighting, and a lot still needs to be done, because you'll find some of them cannot be repaired They actually need to be changed. It's old infrastructure that needs to be changed. And for security in our world, security in the community, you find that lighting is quite essential. And it's the road network. Our roads need a lot of work. We're also grateful that the government intervened on that regard, and we found that a bit of the roads have been revamped, but a lot still needs to be done on the ground. Some still have potholes, some you can't tell whether there's still a road existing or not. So we still need more to be done, but I was glad that when we went to Amalinda opening yesterday, I interfaced with the minister and also the board chair for Zinara, and I also managed to communicate with them that we still have some major roads that we want to be rehabilitated in our ward, and they were happy. They showed keenness in assisting, because apart from doing the major roads, they were doing all over Harare. They're also now breaking it down and coming into the various wards, like they mentioned the Glenora. I feel they're also keen to come and assist us here in Borodale, here in Ward 8 in Harare East.
Interesting. You spoke about quite a number of issues there, Councillor. And I'm just wondering then to myself, what are some of the obstacles in achieving progress in some of in some of these issues?
Yeah, the obstacles we have is bureaucracy in our organization. Mm-hmm. You find when we have the roads people, if their vehicle cannot move, or I'll give an example of maybe our team for enforcement or roads people, they'll need maybe something like fuel, or they'll need, small things that maybe at what level we should be able to be doing. But then the requisitions have to go to the head office, past various offices, for us maybe to have 20 liters of fuel, for us to carry out an enforcement, or for getting a bolt, a screw, small things like that. So at City Council, we're also working at breaking this down. We're working at what's the actual word?
Hello, are you there, Councillor? Hello? Hello, Councillor, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me, Councillor?
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead. You were perhaps looking for a way to properly describe.
Yes, so decentralization, we work with decentralizing so that we do all these at ward level. Mm-hmm. It will help us to be efficient, because that's what we want. If we lack efficiency, we won't be able to deliver. But with my ward, I'll be proud to actually say the residents associations we have, especially the Borodale Residents Association, which is chaired by Chairman Bob Mchasira, they really, really help in a very great way, because all the fundraising activities they do, all the funds they get, they do come in, they chip in. Either if they give us vehicles, if we shuttle vehicles, if we need fuel, and any other resources that we need to function. I think we can say they have been the neck that has been holding us to really function, because a lot still needs to be done at State of Harare for us to function at ward level. So those are some of the hindrances that we have in council.
Indeed.
And the major one also being the lack of an enterprise resource platform, the ERP. Mm-hmm. That has just caused chaos in our inflow and outflow of revenue and management of everything and corporate governance. So that has also caused a great hindrance in our function. Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people would then wonder, in terms of the bureaucracy that you spoke about, what is the feedback that they give in terms of why there are delays in papers that need to be signed, or the communication that just needs to be done? What is the feedback that you get from these various channels?
The feedback we get is, when one is not in that situation, like if they're not from that particular ward, they will not maybe prioritize it. Or if one person is having to do the whole of Harare, I guess they also get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we're also pushing for decentralization.
Right. And moving on to something else, Councillor, allow me to maybe ask you about collaboration, which is essential for any progress in any sector. How do you collaborate with local law enforcement in terms of just making sure that there's progress in your ward?
Collaboration. We collaborate with ZRP. We collaborate with Zinwa. We collaborate with EMA on various, depending on what issue exactly we are looking at. I'll give an example. If we may be enforcing on vendors or illegal structures in the ward, we collaborate well, because it's the communications that we send to the various stakeholders, and we then work in sync to achieve the results that we would have set, or the targets that we would have set, and also the community and the associations, the residents associations.
Indeed. 90 minutes before we get to 8 o'clock, we're in conversation with Ward 18 Harare East Constituency Councillor Rufaro Matsika. And of course, the whole conversation is aligned to community engagement right here on WardCo as well. 0719 100 404 as the number if you need to WhatsApp us. And also if you've got any questions for Councillor Matsika over the phone right here. Now, Councillor, I do understand that just last month you had a 2025 pre-budget consultative meeting. If you're at liberty to share some of the outcomes of that meeting.
Yes, we did have a pre-budget consultative meeting, and the finance department was highlighting our expenditure from when the year started and when the year ended, and also the hindrances of maybe why City of Harare is not performing at its optimum. They highlighted the issue of ratepayers who are not paying. They are not paying for their rent. They're not paying for their capital tax.
Mm-hmm.
So that also hinders how City Council has to also then offer some or carry out its work. So it brought out that maybe there's more awareness that needs to be done in the communities to our residents to also educate them on the importance of paying their rent. Because even when we had some of the residents who attended the meeting, they were actually outright saying, we will never pay. Some will say we won't pay. Though you also it's a mixed bag. You also have some who are very loyal, who pay, and they pay regularly and consistently. Because you find that the percentage for us, we were one of the highest ones, but we were at maybe 34%. So still a lot needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. In the same space, Councillor, have you found it easy to create accord and harmony amongst, the members of the community? Like you're saying, as with every community, kakatana ikako, and, some want this, others want that. But obviously there's need to find that accord, for the ward. So have you found it easy in doing that? And perhaps if you can tell us how you've managed to foster unity amongst the people of your ward.
Yeah, that's a very complex one. It has not been easy.
Yeah.
It has not been easy, I must tell you, because you find we're different people in various platforms and all. So some just vent out their anger some just then just want to attack. You know what I mean? But you then just have to stay focused and we have a major milestone though, I must say, because I think these associations we have do help to bring some order in some way, because in all the various groups, because my ward is quite a big one, we cover Borodale, Grayson Park, Mandara, Gleton, Brookview, part of Valentine, part of Mount Pleasant, part of Pomona, and Glen Lawn. So there's also all these associations broken down. So there's chairpersons in all these various resident associations who I then try and work like hand in glove with, apart from their resident committees as well. So we then have to streamline some of the communications, because some of them are helpful, some of them are good, some of them are progressive, and some of them are very, very negative. But with the help of them, we then are able to streamline like the real issues that we have to focus on. And we work in sync, which makes it easy for us to coexist and work together.
Absolutely. Support, Councillor, for local businesses and entrepreneurs, I want to believe in any ward is essential if we're going to create progress. I would also love to know how you're supporting, your local businesses in the various areas in your ward that you mentioned, and entrepreneurs, and how you're uplifting them as well.
We help them when they're doing their licensing and aligning their businesses according to our bylaws and regulations. We do like go out of our way to do that, because as you know, our salaries and resources are quite limiting, but we do go out of our way. And we also get to mention that these corporates and entrepreneurs are also keen to work with us, and they do assist us. I'll give an example, like one of the inherited problems we have at our district office. Our district office is so run down for the past maybe, I don't know, years, because then I wasn't on council, and it has a closure order from 2002. But one of the corporates, one of the business people who we work well with in the community, we assisted them to set up their operation, and in return, they're willing to help us renovate our district office from everything to anything you can think about. So it's one of those ways. If you do and play your part, they also play their part.
Absolutely. And I know with some communities and wards, sometimes they've found common ground and found a way to come together, pool resources, and really strategize towards some of their goals that they have. Do you have that kind of setup as well in Ward 18? And if you do, I'm just curious as to how you manage such, because obviously everything that involves finances, sometimes, it's a bit sketchy. So how do you manage to maintain order in that regard when it comes to, pool sources from the ward?
When it comes to pool sources for the ward, the associations, like the resident associations, if they have their own pool of funds, they will have their own structures where they'll have the accountant, the chairperson, the treasurer, the secretariat, everything in order. So they will have their own accounts that they manage. We have nothing to do with that, because when they come to us then and are willing to chip in on anything, we also do the formalities where we write to the chamber secretary or to the town clerk and the mayor, and we let them know what kind of help we're getting from the residents. So the record will be there at City Council, and then they come in then and just do what they would want, that which they would like to do. But then we can't say they want to know how much you got and we want to know how much you spend on us and how much you have left, because it's really their prerogative to help us.
Absolutely.
Yes, but whatever the help they want to bring along, they formalize it and we notify council and they carry on with the assistance.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Contribution coming through on the WhatsApp platform. Actually, a question that says, I'm positive of the initiatives being done, and thank you, Councillor, for that. My question is aligned with Harare East in general. Where do you see Harare East District in the next 3 to 5 years?
Please come again.
They said, my question, their question rather, is aligned with Harare East in general. Where do you see Harare East District in the next 3 to 5 years?
In the next 3 to 5 years, wow, it's a time where I will still be in office, God permitting. So where I want to take it is where would some achievables, where I would say I came in, there was no water, there was no street lighting, there was disorder in, like maybe illegal structures or illegal activities. But then we managed to stop this. We managed to, we now have a line of water that comes maybe regularly and things like that. So already we've got some wins which we can celebrate and say, during my coming in, we've achieved 1, 2, 3. So like the milestone I told you about the district office, I had to engage with the corporate for us to get that kind of assistance. So that's a big win for us, which will make us still maintain our district office and then still serve the community. So it's such, and there are some roads which are still being fixed and are going to be fixed, which is going to continue to restore the glow of our Ward 18. So what I can promise the residents is it's baby steps we're making, but we're getting somewhere.
Absolutely.
It's barely a year, but got a lot of achievables that we can tick and smile and say, I think we have, I think we're going somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Frank,
exactly.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I do hope that you've been answered there by the councillor in terms of the direction they're taking for the next 3 to 5 years. As we wrap up our conversation, councillor, curious to also then understand how you, of course, there will always be criticism, no matter what good work is happening in any ward. How do you maintain that? How do you perhaps, sideline the criticism that you get from people in other wards or people in your ward as well?
I think what gives me the wings is to know that when you're a leader, you can never be liked by everybody. You can never have the ticks just going your way. You also have criticism. And when criticism comes, it shows you being noticed. You're there. You know what I mean? And it also gives you that time to then reflect and check where you need to correct or where you need to better. There's also mere criticism where some people just don't know where to vent out because Zimbabwe really has no mental institutions that are many that can assist people, and people are going through a lot. So there's also that way you just need to breathe and ignore. It comes in, it comes out, but then if it's progressive, if it's beneficial for the community and also for leadership or for city council, then I take it, I look at it, and I see how best to then address that.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not just a councillor, I'm also a businesswoman. And apart from that, I'm also chairperson of Young Women for Economic Development. So it's not my first position to be in leadership. I've been going through training where I know, it's not all rosy. So yes, it's that sort of training. Maybe that also gives me the strength and also helps me to shape me.
Lovely. I know I say this is the last one, but just one more contribution coming through in form of a question, which then asks, Councillor, how involved are the youths in your ward?
That's a good one. I would say we could make it there maybe on a ratio of 10, I would say maybe 4%.
Mm-hmm.
There's still that ignorance because they always have the adults doing the work for them.
Mm.
But we've been trying to really involve them. I'll give an example. When we do clean-up campaigns, which have been managed to be done every first Friday of each month, we try to involve the youth. We're trying to rope them in, to understand you need clean environment, you need to also be a part of the change that you want to see. So we are trying, but they are not yet there.
Oh, lovely stuff. Councillor, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us on Capi Talk, and we wish you all the best in the endeavors that you're engaging in Ward 18.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for having me.
Awesome stuff. 5 minutes before we get to 8 o'clock, that was the voice there of the councillor for Ward 8 in Harare East Constituency, Councillor Rufaro Matsika, of course, on the various things that they're doing in terms of community engagement in their ward as well. That pretty much is a wrap on our conversation right here on Ward Call.
The Exchange on Deep Dive.